Hey everybody, and happy Hunger Games! Thank you for joining me for another one of my movie reviews. Last night I had the great opportunity to catch a midnight screening of one of the most anticipated films of the year, The Hunger Games, starring Jennifer Lawrence, Liam Hemsworth, and Josh Hutcherson. Now, I've been a really big fan of this series since before I even knew there was a movie coming out. It's a fantastic series, and if you haven't read it, I'd recommend you giving it a look. But if you're not one of those readers, then I would definitely recommend this film. So, my thoughts on the film, it was freaking awesome. A lot better than I'd ever imagined. So here we go, my review for The Hunger Games. So basically what The Hunger Games are, it's an event that's being televised every year, and what happens is there are 12 districts in this place called Panem. So what they do is they must sacrifice two of their children, one young boy and girl between the ages of 12 and 18, so they can be taken to the capital to be trained in the art of survival and combat, so they can be ready to fight to the death. The last one standing wins the life of luxury and fame and fortune and all that stuff. So the main character of the film is Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence. What she does in this movie, in the beginning, she just sort of starts out as this young girl who goes out and crosses the boundaries beyond her home, risking her life to go hunting and hunting with her best friend Gale Hawthorne, played by Liam Hemsworth, so they could come back and trade whatever they can for goods that they can take back home to help support their family as much as possible. But the film opens up on one of the most dreadful days of every year, which is the reaping, the selective process in which all the kids are selected to compete. And this year, unfortunately, is the year Katniss' sister Prim is selected to compete as the girls' tribute. But in a desperate attempt to save her sister's life, Katniss ultimately volunteers to take her place in the Hunger Games. And the boy tribute who is selected to compete is Peeta Mellark, who is played by Josh Hutcherson. Peeta is a boy from Katniss' past who saved her life once, but he or she have neither talked before or since then. And after the two tributes say goodbye to their friends and families, they are taken to the capital by train to be fed, cleaned, styled for their interviews, and trained for the battle that lies ahead of them in the arena, along with the other 22 tributes. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. There is not one negative thing I have to say about it. There are a few slight changes in this movie, but it doesn't really bother me at all. Because when it comes to book to film adaptations, you gotta be careful what to keep in and keep out. And to be able to change things, some parts of the books to make it flow better and to make it easier to understand for those who haven't read the books and all that stuff. So it was pretty cool. Jennifer Lawrence did a really good job in portraying Katniss. Katniss is skilled, fierce, brave, strong, independent, caring, and very likable. You really care about this character the whole way through. You really want her to succeed in the games. And the relationship she has with the people she meets is very well developed, and you really believe them. Some of them start out a little edgy and a little rough at times, but they really get along. She really gets along with a few people she meets, especially with Peeta. At first, they just sort of start out as a little uneasy about each other because knowing that they're going to have to kill each other in the arena, they're just not really sure what to make of it or anything like that. But later on, they realize how important it is that they stick together and they really begin to care about each other and try to win so they can get back home. And Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson did a very great job of expressing that love and those feelings they have for each other, and it's very it was great. It was great to watch. The cast did an outstanding job in their performances. They did exactly what their characters were supposed to do, and I was very happy with what I saw. I really enjoyed Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, and Lenny Kravitz as their characters. They were like one of the few people who got to join, who were alongside Katniss throughout her journey and getting ready for the games, and they were just really fun characters. I really enjoyed them. And there were also the bad guys in this film, who were Wes Bentley as one of the game makers, Seneca Crane, and Donald Sutherland as President Snow, who was trying to maintain order within the country and stuff like that. But there's good guys and there's bad guys, and they all did an outstanding job. And now on to the main event, the actual Hunger Games. Once those kids are set into the arena and the gong sounds to race for their supplies and run into the woods, Oh my gosh, it's nonstop. It's nonstop, relentless action and murder, and oh my goodness, your heart's gonna race when you see this whole film. Like, some of the tributes that you see that last long enough are like so fierce and determined to win, and by any means necessary. And you really fear for Katniss's life once she's put into that arena, running from not only other tributes, but she's also going to have to deal with other obstacles like starvation, dehydration, infection, creatures that roam the woods in the arena. And like, yeah, what I really liked about the action is in the books it is really shown. You could sort of picture in your mind how the tributes kill other tributes, like with knives, rocks, anything they can find, and it's very graphic once you picture it in your mind. But the way that they portrayed it is with the shaky cam, just so like you could sort of see it happening, but not in full detail. Just to shy away from the R rating, so it'll so it doesn't really seem that bad. And sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't, but all in all, I really, no matter how you see it, you're still gonna like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna be on the edge of your seat, like when all of this action and killing is happening. And it's a really intense thrill ride. Your heart's gonna race the entire time. So basically, the movie was amazing. It was faithful to the story from the book. The characters were exactly the way they should be, and they were well cast by great actors and actresses. And the action in the arena was great, and the way the director Gary Ross envisioned this whole world of Pan Am and everything else and the games, oh my gosh. Some of it was like as I imagined, but other times I was just like, whoa, I could never think of that. And it was really great. It was really nice to see it all come to life for the first time on the big screen. And yeah, the movie was great. I'm going to give this film a 4 out of 4 stars. And I'm not just saying that because it's a really great book and I'm a fan of it, but it was a really great book. I enjoyed this film so much. You won't be disappointed. I would totally recommend to watch this as soon as possible. Well, that's all for now, so hope you enjoyed my review. I don't know when my next one's going to be, so just keep a lookout for that. But in the meantime, see you guys later, and may the odds be ever in your favor.